Yo, we live. YouTube. Let's get some viewers in this place, man. Let's get some viewers. We got anybody? We're gonna give it a little time. Or maybe you're gonna catch the replay. Maybe y'all catching the replay right now. I don't care, man. I just wanted to come on here and chop it up with y'all boys. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Haven't posted like a live video in a minute. We figured out things on the business side of life, figuring out different moves that we making. But I wanted to come on here and make this video real quick, just because I'm noticing some different things. I'm noticing some different things in life. I'm noticing some different things out there in society. I'm noticing some different things out in the world. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Let me get the light going. I like the light. Let's get the light set up. Alright. There we go. Alright, we got the light set up. Gang. Sean, my guy, he said, how long do we need to fast to break witchcraft? That's a good question, bro. I guess it depends on what type of spirits you're dealing with. It depends on what type of spirits you're dealing with. The longer that you go, the more that you can be able to clean. But I mean, I think as far as like a biological perspective in our body reaches autophagy, setback spirit. Our body reaches autophagy like after like 18 hours. So 18 hours is a good time frame. 3 days is a good time frame. It's interesting that you brought up fasting. I've been called to fast as well. And I've been fasting a lot more, just like from food, different stuff. But I haven't gone like fully into like a big fast like I've done previously. But setback spirit, I'm not sure what you mean by setback spirit. Is it the spirit of procrastination or something happened in the past? Can you elaborate a little bit more and maybe I could talk about it? But yeah, in this one, state of emergency, I think that the world is creating a lot of hard times for people. Is anybody else experiencing this? We only got one person in here, but shout out Sean. I think the world is creating a lot of hard times for people. If we think about the cycle, right? You got the cycle, the cycle of society. You got hard times create strong people create easy times create weak people create hard times, right? So I think we just maybe crossed that chasm of weak people creating hard times. And now these hard times that we in right now, the economy, the macroeconomic situation, that's kind of going to shit. As men, right, the builders of society, the leaders of society, the world is trying to tell us that women have more power, more control over certain situations. So that's another thing that we're going against right now. So I think we're in the middle of some hard times. So really, I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know that, like, let y'all know what the landscape is looking like, what I'm seeing out there in the market. And I think this is important. It's important to pay attention to what's going on out there in the world. Sean, you could elaborate on your question too. I would love to answer for you, bro, since you a viewer here. But when we think about what's going on out there in the world, you got what I'm seeing is women is frustrated, men is frustrated, and we frustrated for two different reasons. So let's break that down. Men, we frustrated because we feel like we want pussy, we want a girl, we want love, whatever that is, right? Pussy, love, girl, lust, love. We want that at our core. We want to attract that into our life, right? And at the same time, the women want a strong man. But the problem is a lot of dudes in society these days are indulging in habits that make them weak. So then we get repulsed by women, and then they don't want us, and then they resort to toys, they resort to getting attention from social media, they resort to only messing with the same type of dudes. You answer, bro. 18 hours or more. For sure. What's going on, Velchko? He reading chat? Yeah, I'm reading chat, bro. I'm tapped all the way in. What's going on with you? What's going on? Respect. Word. So how can we grow? How can we develop? How can we get better results? I think that we can get better results. We can grow by being aware first. Like, that's always the first step of change, is awareness. Like, you have to be aware of the problem, aware of where we're at right now in society. I'm scrolling through. I'm seeing a lot of weak dudes. Like I'm just seeing it, bro. Like we got rappers painting their nails now. We got rappers apologizing for beef. We got people that's buying and wearing bags. We got people painting their nails. We got people listening to Sexy Red. Like Sexy Red got the dudes on lock right now. Like where are we at? The women is hollering about where the men at. Wanted to ask what you do for a living. You could just say something more about yourself. Yeah, facts, to be honest. Yeah, bro, I do high ticket sales for a living. So I sell things online for coaches, consultants, agency owners, and I help them build and scale sales teams. So that's like the day job, but I also do some performance coaching. So right now I'm coaching a few people on personal development, mindset, communication, helping them become able to influence themselves and influence others better through some of the skills that I've learned. So yeah, that's like the day-to-day. I'm definitely blessed to be able to do that, but it's another level. It's another level I could take it. It's another level that life can go. It's another level that, we can continue to strive for and continue to grow into that. I'm just now becoming aware of like where we're at and really taking heed to the message, right? Because I think truth prevails and God has told us the truth since the beginning of the time on like who we must be as men to get the results that we want. And sometimes we go away from that because society tells us something different. Society says go out drinking every weekend. Society says smoke. Society says don't have no self-control sexually and try to sleep with as many girls as you want and listen to dumb music that makes you violent and want to kill people. So it's like, that's not ultimately where we're at. I think we're crossing this chasm. Maybe like in the past decade or something that was at its height because it was very easy time. So it was easy to be weak in a generation and still thrive as a man. And then once you couple that with a woman, it was easy to kind of build that relationship. You didn't have to do much. The government was taking care of us and stuff like that. But we live in different times now. So, women are seeking different things, but also men are seeking different things. Men are seeking different results and women. Yo, Flacco, what's going on with you, Brody? My guy. What are actual high ticket sales? Yeah, understand. Yeah, bro, high ticket sales. It's so like for example, let's say I sell a coaching program. The coaching program is $10,000, right? I coach people on how to land a better job. So coaching, consulting, something to get a result for somebody. I sell that program for $10,000. I'm the business owner. What I need is people to sell that for me because I don't want to spend my time selling. I want to spend my time actually coaching people. So what I do is I hire salespeople and they make 10%. So let's say it's a $10,000 program. You make 10% every time you sell the program. So that means you make $1,000 every time you sell this $10,000 program. So a good program, they're going to provide marketing for you. They're going to provide leads for you. So essentially you just open up your calendar. You'll have a series of calls on that calendar. You hop on a call, you close the deal, you get paid, bada boom, bada bing. You don't have to actually run an entire business, but you can make a lot of money online, work from home, and still develop a lot of valuable skills when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, sales. All that's going to be transferable in so many different areas. So definitely recommend the field to get into it. If it's something that you want to look into more, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I can help you make that transition. SMA, you help someone scale their business. Yeah, and there's different ways you could expand off of that. Like you could start as a salesperson, then you could go more into like managing the sales team. And then you could go into more so like helping the marketing and helping the funnel of like how to get leads. And then you could like more so expand and like just provide more and more value. So as you develop your skills, you can provide more value to the company. But in the beginning, if you're just getting started with business, entrepreneurship, focus on one skill, really master that skill, become world-class, the best in the world at that skill. And then that is going to take you a lot farther than trying to do too many things at once, especially in the beginning. Kind of copywriting / marketing thing, or it's sales is just, copywriting is just sales in the written form, in the written word. So, if you focus on copywriting and marketing right now, I say stick with that. You can still make a lot of money as a email copywriter. You can write funnels for people. You can write landing pages, sales pages, different things like that. So copywriting is a different skill, but it's still a valuable skill when it comes to business because, business is just marketing, sales, and product. So if you can market and you can sell something and you can deliver, then you pretty much have a business. Yeah, so I'm glad this is where the conversation is going, right? Like business, making more money, scales, because this is what is going to get us the results that we want when it comes to fulfillment and achievement and success, right? Like this is gonna get us more money. This is gonna get us the women that we want. This is gonna get us the health that we want. This is what's gonna get us the lifestyle, the Lambos and shit that we want, the cribs, the mansions. This is what's gonna get us what we want. Is coming together as men, coming up with solutions to the problems that we have in our life. And I think the biggest problem is just weakness. Like if we can just become stronger, like strength should be top of mind, especially when it comes to personal or like masculine development, since I'm talking about mostly the men here, right? As we think about developing, it's really masculine development because we have to be a man first before we become a successful man. And rule number one of manhood is strength. And I feel this. I feel that this is where we're at right now in society, that society is calling for the strong men to stand up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Mr. West. Like they need us, especially to perform God's will on earth, which is what we're trying to do. Like God's will is for us to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth and like live that kingdom culture here and have families and like expand the God's family on earth and like, have multiply, be fruitful and multiply, right? So it's like we need families, we need legacy, we need wealth, we need these things, and the only way to get it is to be strong because life is gonna throw tests at you. Life is gonna throw tests and battles, and the biggest test is of the mind. The devil's gonna get in your mind and try to, cause doubt that you can't do something, that it's gonna be hard to do something, that you're not capable, that God's not on your side, that God forgot about you, that, life is hard, that you can't develop that skill set, that you can't start that business, that you can't make that money, that you can't get that girl, that you can't do that. So like the first step is like really conditioning the mind to say, hey, I'm going to focus on what I want, and anything that comes up of what I don't want, I'm going to ignore because I know if I'm thinking about stuff I don't want, that's out of my control. And if it's something that's out of my control, why would I focus on it? Instead, I can focus on things that are in my control, put the best foot forward, and then combine that with my own strength, with the faith of God. And then now that combination, I feel, is what really moves the needle, really gets results, really moves things forward, is this combination of work and faith. But a lot of people don't want to work, and a lot of people have no faith, or they have faith in themselves as opposed to faith in God, as opposed to faith in something bigger. So then when a trial comes or a tribulation or you fail or something happens, because on the road to success, failure is inevitable. When you fail, a lot of people lose all belief in themselves because they're like, hey, I failed here, so that means I'm never going to be able to recover because I'm not capable. But really, once you start to put that faith outside of yourself and into God, you're like, I realize I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, or through God who strengthens me, whatever you believe in, this higher power, spirit who strengthens me. When you start to cultivate that belief system and like, I can do it, then that failure doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't sit in your spirit as much. It doesn't affect you as much. That failure is just seen as like a part of the journey, because any failure is not truly a failure. It's just a learning experience. It's just something that God is putting you through so you can develop into the person that you have to become. And for some reason, as humans, as men, as people in society, we need these failures, we need these hardships, we need this pain in order to change a lot of the time. So God puts you through things not to break you, but to make you. I'm currently making maps for game Fortnite as a developer. I mean, I can say like that. Been into that for 2 months almost and made $200 or something like that, but now working on a bigger project. I mean, it's maybe funny like Fortnite, but the thing's actually serious. Like they pay their creators a lot, some serious thing. Yeah, bro. I mean, a big part of making wealth is following trends. So I agree. I think gaming is a trending industry. It's a trending up industry. And gaming has only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, you see the 2K league, you see different leagues of gaming leagues, and it's only gonna get bigger. So if you're in the gaming industry, I think that's a good industry. It sounds like you're a developer, meaning you have a strong skill set. Just double down and double down on yourself too. Charge more money. Charge more money. You are very capable of doing something bigger. A lot of times people don't make more money because they feel like they don't deserve more money, and they don't charge more money. They don't ask for more money. So just ask for more money. And if they turn you down, just keep it pushing. It's always a game of learning. And it's not that you're not worth that. It just means that, maybe they don't see the value or they can't afford it. So, yeah, keep it pushing, bro. I think you're doing well. So finding passion, pursuing purpose, developing skill sets, making money, becoming healthier, becoming a more mentally strong person. All these things are going to develop you as a man, right? And as you develop as a man, it makes it that much easier to become successful. Because I see Alex Hormozy. I like a lot of his content when it comes to business, but like his overall life philosophy content, I really don't resonate a lot with, because what he says is like, you don't need meditation, you don't need to read books, you don't need these things to make money, which I agree. You only need to do the tasks that make money to make money. You only need to do the outreach, you only need to sell the product, you only need to deliver the product. Like, that's all you need to do to make money, right? But it's a reason people don't do that. It's a reason people don't take action on what they think or know they should be taking action on. It's a reason why people procrastinate. It's a reason why people don't do this. And it's because they're conditioned to be weak. They're conditioned to not have fortitude, not have strength, not have the effort to keep going, not having a strong enough why to keep going. So then they give up in the first sign of adversity. They change course in the first sign of adversity. So I agree with the sentiment that you have to do certain things to get a certain result. But in order to do those things first is you have to become a strong man. You have to become a masculine person. You have to develop those self-leadership abilities to be able to lead others in an effective way. Because you're gonna fall off, you're not gonna take action, you're gonna procrastinate, you're gonna miss that meeting, you're gonna self-sabotage, you're gonna just start to do stuff that's not in alignment with what you want, simply based off the fact that you haven't been conditioned for it, you haven't been built for it, you haven't trained for it, you haven't been in the trenches for it, you haven't put yourself in risky environments, you haven't put yourself in fear inducing environments. Like, do something that scares you every day. Like, I saw this as a Nipsey Hussle tweet, but it's like the principle of doing something that scares you every day is you start to decondition yourself from fear mindset, fear-based mindset, and fear-based actions, like avoiding certain things. Like, you start to move yourself from that mindset and that paradigm to something that's more empowering, that can actually get you the results. And what gets you the results is moving towards fears, moving towards the unknown, moving towards things that, may seem scary at first, but then you get there and you realize, like, oh, that shit wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, it's not that spooky as I thought. So, like, as we continue to grow, it becomes more difficult to seek those experiences, because it's like, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Like, what's next? But there's always something next. There's always something more scary. There's always something that next level. There's always something that could, recondition your faith or your strength internally. There's always something you can do, right? So as you ask yourself that question, what can I do? What is possible? How can I develop more mental and physical strength? Then you become more aware, and then you start to naturally take action. If you put your faith in something else, you put your faith in yourself, then you're gonna get what yourself always gave you. But if you put yourself in something greater and something that's like all loving, like God, then now you find that internal strength, because there's no way you could lose. There's no scary the worst case scenario is you die and you go back to heaven with God, into an all loving scenario. So there's no worst case scenario of taking action once you believe in something greater than yourself. But if you're just thinking about yourself, then that action becomes not as easy to take, because you're focused on the pain you might experience if you fail. You're focused on the pain you might experience if you do that and you get rejected, as opposed to focusing on the love that God has for you in every given moment. And all he wants you to do is try. All he wants you to do is attempt. All he wants you to do is keep moving forward. All he wants you to do is take one more action, take one more step, keep looking for that next thing, keep seeking the kingdom, and you shall find. And the kingdom is metaphor not only for like the kingdom of God in heaven, but it's the kingdom metaphor of our physical life on earth. Like, seek ye first your own kingdom, like your house, your car, your temple, your body, your mindset, the actions that you take, the work that you do, the people that you have around you. Like, master that internal and external kingdom first, and then all these things should be added on to you. Like, as you become the man that you were meant to be by God, aka a leader, aka someone that can lead themselves, and through that process of leading yourself, you become capable to lead others. Because going back to the beginning of this conversation, let me read the comments real quick. Yeah, also agree for that. But yeah, for example, meditation is good for new ideas, clear mind. Reading books also very good. But examples, his book is very good. Like you almost say, free value, if you know what I mean. For sure. By the way, that, and I'm learning copywriting also from Guy Tyson 4D. You may know him. Yeah, I've seen him. Um, yeah, I mean, I would stick to one, bro. Copywriting is good because that's how you can help sell your game. But it's just skills to add to the major thing. So I like that. And then yeah, meditation is good for new ideas, clear mind. Reading books is good. For example, his book. Yeah, agreed. Right. Like all these things are what make you stronger. And the result a lot of people focus on is not strength. They focus on making money. They focus on the end as opposed to the means. You make money when you become strong. You make money when you become financially literate. You make money when you become aware of what makes money. Like you become healthy once you become aware of what's health. You become aware of like what the consequences of not being healthy do for you. You become aware of love and like what love could do for you in terms of fulfillment level and what you miss in terms of not having that in your life. So like as you gain that awareness and then you start to cultivate and you start to focus on the process to get to the ends of like, what do I have to do to make money? What do I have to do to become strong? What do I have to do to attract love into my life? And again, I'm not saying that it's the end all be all. I think it's multifaceted, but I think a big top of the line one is strength. And before I read the comments, I was gonna say I was alluding to something else that I talked about earlier, which is we have a lack of strength in society right now. We have a lack of leaders right now. We have a lack of men that are strong enough to lead themselves, making them capable enough to lead others. Whether that's a woman, whether that's a team that you have at work, whether that's your employees, whether that's your friend group, whether that's society and community at large, any of these things, it's only possible through being able to lead yourself first. And you're only going to be able to lead yourself first to the extent to which you've developed your internal and external strength. Like it's a reason why most leaders, most CEOs, most business people, they look strong, they look in shape, they look healthy. Athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, CEOs. Like these people aren't like if you think about your average entrepreneur, your average CEO, your average athlete, like it's not a weak, fat, lazy person. Like that's not who it is. You might have the outlier of the fat guy that got rich, but you know I would say the exception doesn't make it the rule. It just enforces the rule. And the rule is that in order to get material things, you have to develop internally first. Like Lauryn Hill said it best, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? So getting right within is priority number one. And this getting right, in my opinion, is developing strength. And strength can be lifting weights. Strength could be mentally resilient, being able to go through things. Strength could be having information and being able to articulate your ideas in an effective way to get them across to people, but also being able to defend them when someone else comes back on them. So strength is multifaceted, and I encourage you all to study strength, research strength. What is it? And really become familiar with the origins of strength, right? Because I think strength ultimately is a God trait, is a God attribute. It's one of the greatest strengths of God. And I say this because actually what God means in Hebrew, like Yahweh, is like the strength of the Father. And I'll have to do more research, but I know what I want to say. But part of in the Hebrew alphabet, there's a letter that is in the word that is God. God translated to Hebrew is a certain letter, and that letter symbolizes strength. Y'all could go look into it more depth, and I'll have to study more depth so I can explain it better. But in general, the message or premise of what I'm trying to say by bringing this example up is that strength comes from God. So the more you tap into what God has planned for you, his purpose, his way of living, his way of being, his mindset, the way that he approaches life, through this, and just to give you the answer, through this mindset of infinite love, divine love, almighty love, then through that mindset, cultivating that, you begin to act that out into the world. First, by loving yourself, by disciplining yourself to do things that only make your life better, but then by loving others in a way to where you make their lives better. And that's all we came to do, man. That's all we came to do is like become this best version of ourselves, and then we can help others become the best version of themselves through our unique gifts. Whether that's through developing games and building wealth for yourself, so you can take care of your family. Whether that's through developing a skill set like sales, so I could, make wealth and take care of my family, or the sales skill set is the ability to influence, to persuade, to help people shift beliefs. So this could help you right now to shift some beliefs in your head about what it means to be strong or what it means to be successful, and that could help you out in your life. Or I could do the same thing with my family, with my mom, with my future wife, my future kids, right? So as we continue to understand what God's plan and lifestyle is for us, ideally, I believe that we can take that information, apply it, and really start to see the fruits. The fruits is abundance, the fruits is prosperity, the fruits is love, the fruits is attracting the right opportunities to you, the fruits is attracting the right friend group to you, the fruits is attracting the right situations and experiences and having meaningful, passionate living experience, right? And that's all we want is a passionate living experience. But it's so hard for people to get beyond themselves and in this current society with the distractions, with society trying to brainwash us, with the over sexualization of the movies and content that we see. It's hard for people to get past themselves. It's hard for people to overcome themselves to take a step in the right direction, to break through, right? And that's all we need to do is like break through the current version of yourself, through the next version of yourself. And we do that by conquering fear. We do that by cultivating strength, and we do that by acknowledging the divine love that's already in us and that serves society and humanity for its greater good. Everything's happening for a reason, and I believe that reason is good. And with that mindset, you can start to see opportunities more clearly. You start to see opportunities to serve. You start to see opportunities to help. You start to see opportunities to develop and cultivate. And it starts with self. I'm looking at the opportunity right now to clean my apartment up a little bit. I'm thinking about the opportunity I have right now to go to the gym and work on my strength and develop. I saw the opportunity here to hop on live and hopefully get some words of encouragement or some guidance in terms of becoming more successful here in 2024 based on where we are right now in society. So what do you think about flat earth? Another civilization behind Antarctica and that theory? Are they lying to us? I mean, do I believe the earth is flat? Yes. Do I know for sure? No. Do I spend a lot of time thinking about it since I don't know for sure? No. But I believe the Bible says that the earth sits on 4 pillars and there's a firmament above and there's a dome. So I think the Bible's true. So that's the extent to which I think about it. But a lot of that I do believe is distractions, Velchko. I do believe that a lot of the conspiracy, which I used to be heavy into, looking into flat earth and the cabal and all this, there's fucking tens of thousands of rabbit holes you can go down about conspiracies and how messed up the world is. But what I found is that anything you focus on, energy goes. So do I want to focus on conspiracies and evil that's going on in the world that potentially I'm giving more energy to it? There's a good book on this, Reality Transurfing. It talks about pendulums and how things pick up steam and how ideas tend to affect society. And it just talks about the more energy or focus you give a pendulum, the greater it's going to swing, whether you're on the left side or the right side. So like, people would defend Republican or Democrat, but it's like it's the same pendulum of a political system that encourages separation. Like, do I want to contribute to that, or do I want to contribute to kingdom philosophy of politics that signifies unification through God, which how it was intended to be, one nation under God in general. Yeah, I also think that is a big distraction. It's a big distraction, bro, because life is simple. Life is so fucking simple. Life is so fucking simple. Life is so simple. Like, excuse my language, but life is very, 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 very simple. Simple does not equal easy, though. It's not equal easy. Simply, all you have to do is make as much money as you can, build generational wealth, become the healthiest version that you can, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and cultivate the best loving relationships that you can, romantically, platonically when it comes to friendships, and socially when it comes to society at large and your community. If you do those three things, there is no way that you're not fulfilled and achieved a lot and have a great legacy and feel fulfilled emotionally. And that's the only goal, right? It's like feel emotionally fulfilled. Like the quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. If you feel anxious, if you feel fearful, if you feel depressed, if you feel unclear, if you feel confused, then that's the quality of your life. But if you feel excited, if you feel inspired, if you feel motivated, if you feel happy, if you feel joyful, if you feel loving, that's the quality of your life. You feel caring. So those aren't circumstances, don't create those emotions. What create those emotions is how you interpret those circumstances, aka your perspective. Where are you from, by the way? I'm from Michigan originally. I'm in Dallas, Texas now. In Dallas, Texas now. So yeah, it's all perception of the experiences that control your emotions, and the quality of your emotions is how you spend your time. So that's what we talking about today. Like, controlling your emotions is strength. Like, that is power. That is the goal, right? So being able to do that again allows you to one, think more clearly, and then as you think more clearly, you're able to make better decisions and take better actions, and those better actions are going to lead to better results. And to sum it up, it's simply avoiding instant gratification to achieve long-term delayed gratification. Like, that's simply it. Like, that's the key. But man, that instant gratification sometimes be feeling good as hell. You know, be feeling good to drink that sugar, be feeling good to eat that dessert, it be feeling good to skip that gym, it be feeling good to lay in that bed, it be feeling good to release that nut, be feeling good to have sex with that girl, be feeling good to watch those dirty websites, be feeling good to eat that unhealthy food, that greasy fried food, be feeling good in the moment. In the moment, I ain't gonna lie, especially we being conditioned since birth to enjoy those type of things, and they play on our instincts, they play on our emotional triggers, they play on our reptilian brain, and basically turn us into animals that can be triggered by certain things. Like, it's tough, but through God you could do it. With God you could do it. You could break those spirits, you could break those curses, you could break those strongholds, you could break those associations, you could break those habits, you could break those patterns. You can break it. Like, you're not your behavior, your conditioning. And to change your conditioning, change your environment, externally and mentally. Like, what are you receiving internally as information, and what are you receiving externally as information, and what are you accepting to be true or not, you know, and what stories do you tell yourself? So, like, all that changes your perspective, therefore changing your experience and changing your conditioning and changing your patterns. And success is just a pattern, whatever it is in the area of life. Like, there's a pattern to becoming successful when it comes to your body. That pattern looks like eating a certain amount of food, eating a certain type of food, and working out a certain amount. There's a certain pattern to building wealth. That pattern looks like not trading time for money, finding something that you can do to where you can create leverage, having other people work for you, or having capital that you can put into assets that go up or go down based on how the market skews, or having some type of insider knowledge or different information than majority of the people. So having that type of leverage allows you to take advantage of opportunities and analyze opportunities based off risk and reward, and choose one that's has a higher ROI potential than others. And that choice of what you decide to invest your resources into, aka your time, your effort, your energy, what you decide to invest those time, effort, and energy into, depending on what that opportunity is, based on how you analyze the opportunity, is going to determine your financial future. So if I invest my effort, time, and energy to a job that I have to go to every single day for 8 hours, that doesn't allow me to do anything else but do that job, and that job is going to pay me $20 an hour, then basically what I'm saying is the best opportunity that I've analyzed across the entire marketplace is for me to go to this job, and I'm investing my effort, my time, my energy into something that only makes me $15 an hour and doesn't give me the ability to learn anything else, to maybe make a better decision, right? Like, I'm not frowned upon jobs, but I think you should pick the best job that gives you the best opportunity to grow. Like, why go do a job where you have to spend all your time, effort, and energy focused on that job, as opposed to a security job where you can make the same amount of money but spend all your time, effort, energy into learning, so that way you can find a better opportunity to make more money. You see how the difference, and you see how that could change somebody's like future? Like, I could go do a job where I'm just sitting there doing the same thing over. I can't listen to headphones. I can't listen to no podcasts, no audio books. I can't do something different. I just got to focus on this job. And that's the only thing I'm learning during this time, is like whether it's like stacking boxes. I don't even know how to stack these damn boxes. That's the only thing. So now you're just conditioning yourself to stack boxes. But when I have jobs or had jobs, I'll do like Best Buy. I was learning sales skills. I was developing. I chose that specifically. Or I would do delivery driving, so I could listen to audiobooks while I'm just driving my car. Those are like the two main ones, right? And there's security jobs. There's bouncer jobs at a nightclub or something like that. There's moving jobs. There's jobs that you could do that don't require your maybe focus or attention that much, and you could put that somewhere else to analyze a better opportunity. So that's really the game. It's like, that's the pattern to building wealth. There's a pattern to attracting high quality relationships. Become strong, become a leader, become more healthy. How old are you, by the way? When did you give up on job and start fully high sales business? I started my first business at 18. I stopped working at Best Buy. That was my last full-time job in 2020. I was actually laid off from the pandemic, but I just never went back. So that was March 2020. I was 21. That's when I had dropped out of school and moved to Texas. So a lot of stuff happened and made that shift. So it's been 4 years now since full-time entrepreneurship, but maybe 6-7 years of or 5-6 years of entrepreneurship in general. So it's been a while. It's been a long time coming, but I don't regret any of it. Any other questions before we hop? I think I've covered majority of what I wanted to get off my chest, which I think is develop strength above anything. We live in a society right now where if you want a woman, a lot of dudes is motivated by women. I'm motivated by women. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna cap. Look, I'm not gonna be the one to come to cap to y'all. That will never be me. You will never catch JVN coming on here and capping to anybody. A lot of us do things for women, whether it's to attract a higher quality of women, whether it's to get more women, whether it's to become, to have a family, a legacy, whatever, however you want to phrase it. I think biologically, one of the greatest motivators of man is to have sex and reproduce. I think that's put into us. So you can try to deny it, but I think it's a biological mechanism. And I think as you become successful, you become more attractive. And success is not just monetarily. I don't believe that. I think monetary success is a result of you already being successful internally. And that's what I wanted to get across in this video. It's become successfully internally first. And the way to do that is become strong. As you become strong, you become less easily manipulated and able to have more self-control. And when you're able to have more self-control, you're able to make better decisions, and those decisions are going to lead to better results. So cultivate that inner strength first, and then through that inner strength, you'll get the wealth, you'll get the health, you'll get the love. I believe so. As I become stronger, my life has only gone up. I've become stronger. I've gotten higher quality women. I've gotten stronger. I've made more money. I've gotten stronger. I've become more in shape. Physically, I've become stronger. I look better. I feel better. When bad shit happens, or when I'm faced with adversity, when I'm faced with back against the wall type of situations, I'm able to be calm. I'm able to, move through that more with faith. And it's not all my works. A lot of it's when I choose to focus on God, and I focus on his love, and I focus on how he doesn't fail me, and I focus on how he's all powerful, all knowing, all strong, able to control anything. And I focus on that. I focus on that relationship, and he helps, and he tells me the things to do in order to constantly and continue improving. Are you going to somewhere other live, or you just busy now? Reason for end the stream, by the way, this was a really good live, not gonna lie. Hey bro, appreciate you for tapping in and being here the whole time. I'm not gonna go nowhere other live. I'm probably just gonna hit to the gym. I mean, I could go live in the gym if y'all would appreciate that, but I probably wouldn't be talking that much. But I can start getting some clips in the gym more. I don't tend to do that, but yeah, I'm just gonna move around and start doing some other things with my day, start moving things forward, developing strength, as we talked about in this video. But yeah, man, I'm just noticing it. This really came as a spark of inspiration from seeing the reels. Like, as you just scroll through, you just start to see, okay, one, dudes are weak as hell. We listening to Sexy Red. We wearing fingernails. We doing all this feminine stuff. Like, that's all I'm seeing. It's fucking like feminine shit. Like, I follow a lot of masculine shit, so like I see that too. But like, you know, reels or TikTok, like that's just the mass algorithm. So like it gives you a good pulse of like where society is at. Actually, I take a lot from that. And you see just a lot of like feminine behavior from men. You see a lot of masculine behavior from women, and a dissatisfaction from women. That's a lot what I'm seeing. It's like I saw it on Tyler's interview. Tyler just did an interview. You know, she was on the stream with Kai Cenat. He got curved. But she just did an interview and she was just like, what's your biggest turn on in a man? She was just like, a man's man. I want strong. They don't even know how to describe it, but they just want a man's man. They just want somewhere that's that's gonna be able to put their foot down, that's gonna be able to lead, that's gonna be able to love, like that's gonna be able to do all this. Like, honestly, when you like really break it down, like what they really want is like the perfect mix of like quote unquote bad boy, or like toxic, or like whatever, like very strong, but they also want that love, which is also strength. So they want that what's a different word I could use for it? Because I think it's all strength, but there's like love and there's like the opposite, not the opposite of love, but like discipline or like leadership. I don't know what I would call it, but it's like love and this concept of like love and strength at the same time to its max capability is like what they want. So it's like hard because we grew up in a society where like they preached to men that love is weak, right? So it's like we can't really love correctly because we either think it's weak or we just don't know how to do it. So it's like we don't want to learn how to do it because they're like, oh, if you love a girl, she gonna leave you. If you love a girl, they're gonna be nice. Like, no, she'll leave you if you're not strong. She won't leave you because you're loving her too much. But when you become weak in the process, now that's when you get left. But if you stay strong in the process, you stay strong to who you are, you keep holding those boundaries, you keep developing yourself and focusing on yourself, plus you're an ultimate loving being at the same time and want to share that, but you also have strong boundaries. Now you win. Now you're like the most attractive. Now you're the most energetic. Now you're the highest vibrant individual because that's who you truly are at your core. You know, God is dominion. He gave us a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So embody that. Embody that power, love, and sound mind. And I think it really helps, bro. Like I've tried the different lanes. I've tried to listen to the world, but man, God got the keys, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When you start grinding, basically everything starts coming at you to distract you. That's a fact. Because like it said in the Bible, bro, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and evil in high places, right? So it's like, if that's true, let's just say that's true. Let's just say there's evil going on. Let's just assume that there's a spiritual world. Let's just assume that there's a different dimension. Let's just assume that these angels and demons are there. Let's just assume that, you know, you may be getting watched right now. Let's just assume. Why not? You know, I think a lot of science has come out to show that, you know, this world is not just material. I think that's very clear in the new literature when it comes to quantum physics and different things like that, that there's is a tangible spiritual world that has an impact on our society. So let's just say that that's true. As you start to change and positively change and change for the better, and let's just say there's an entity out there that wants to keep you metaphorically in jail or stuck or in slavery, as the Israelites were back in the Old Testament. Let's just say that there was an entity out there that desired to do that because they were at enmity with God from the beginning of time and an enemy of God at the beginning of time. Then you can assume that as you start to change externally, the enemy or these evil spirits or this evil energy is going to try to stop that. And that's where the true fight is. But you can't fight that fight by yourself. That's why you need God, because ultimately God already won. And the real way to fight is through faith. And faith is just belief in something. Like I could have faith in it all working out, or I could have faith in it not working out. But either way, I have faith in something. So let's just put faith in the belief that Jesus died and rose for our sins and that he already conquered death. And as we do that, the enemy loses his power, because the enemy only gets his power based on our attention, our focus on what we put attention to. So if we focus on the distractions, if we focus on the shit that comes our way, if we focus on how hard it is, if we focus on getting attacked, then that gets stronger. Going back to the pendulum analogy I talked about earlier from that book, Reality Transurfing. The more energy you put on something that you don't want, the more it's going to happen. So like the key of what I found is like completely removing your energy from everything that you don't want. As soon as you become aware of it, because sometimes you just get in a trance where you're just like struggling, trance-like state. But if you can just become aware, oh, I'm in a trance right now. I'm getting manipulated by the fucking evils of society that's trying to keep me trapped and enslaved and dopamine addict out by being on my phone all day. You can snap out of that and like just like choose to like, let me stop focusing on other people, because that's not gonna help my life, and start focusing on what I can do in my own life and what I can do right now to become stronger, because obviously I'm not strong enough to not get put into trances. You know, all of us has the ability to get put in a trance, but the more you're able to be aware of it, then the less likely you are to get hit with the trance. And by trance, I just mean like a state of hypnosis. Like, you ever been driving and like you just forget where you were, like somehow you made it home? Like, that's hypnosis. Like, you were literally somewhere else. You were in a trance. So, you know, this happens when we just fall into the patterns that we do every day. Like, our day is mostly the same unless we consciously do something different. You know, we have unconscious patterns that we just do every day. And people call them habits. It's like, you know, you wake up around the same time, you do the same thing when you wake up, you eat pretty much the same 6 to 10 meals. You pretty much do the same stuff. So it's like consciously we have to become aware that we are in a pattern and ask ourselves, is that pattern getting us the results that we want? Is that pattern taking us to where we want to go? And if it's not, we have the choice to change it by focusing on something different. And when it becomes hard to make that change, we just need to have faith that it's going to happen. And it's going to happen because God loves you. And God wants you to win. And the more we focus on that truth, the more we focus on the change that we want to make, and that how we want our life to be, how we want our patterns to be, how we want our habits to be, how we want our lifestyle to be, how we want, you know, our entire life to be. And we just focus everything on that. And we focus on how good God is and how much he loves us, and that he's going to give that to us because he loves us. That combination of faith plus works, miracles. Like, people start coming to your life when you grind. Women also, I mean, like, they like energy, how to describe it. I don't know many men who is working hard, energy man. Yeah, bro, because that's what we're talking about in this is ultimately strength is attractive. Attractive means what? You attract it to you. So it's like a magnetic pull. It's like you pull people to you. You pull experiences to you. You pull everything to you in your life based on how you're vibrating. And a man that's on his purpose, a man that's grinding, quote unquote, or a man that's focused on his passions, a man that's loving what he's doing, that person's going to be vibrating higher because it's more in alignment with who you truly are. Like, when you suppress what you know you should be doing, then you're technically not living in alignment with your authentic self. Because your authentic self is the version of yourself that does exactly what they want to do. And the reason you're not doing it is either because there's fear of doing it because you think it'll be hard, or you think you'll fail, or you think you'll get rejected, or you think you'll succeed. And if you succeed, then you think people are going to treat you different. So really, it all comes down to just a fear of something. Like, that's all procrastination is. It's like a fear of, when I do this, I'm going to experience some type of pain, and therefore you don't do it, even though it may be in alignment. And avoiding pain is weak, you know, like, Jesus ain't avoiding no pain. He went towards the pain out of love. So when you connect more from the mindset of love, you start to take action regardless. And as you take action, aka be on your purpose, then you're coming from a place of love. And what are the two things that I talked about earlier? That strength and love. I didn't think of another way to explain it, but I like that, strength and love. So you're showing strength by being able to overcome your fears, and you're showing love because the only way to overcome your fears is through love. So you're showing the two biggest attractive traits, and those two things, people either subconsciously will notice, and you would just start experiencing people out the woodworks from that, or people will consciously notice and like see you out and like see you on Instagram, or like see you promoting your business, or like see you grinding, right? Like there could be somebody watching this right now that sees me on my grind, that sees me focus on what I'm doing. That means they know that I overcame some type of resistance to make this video. You know, there's some type of resistance usually to make videos like this. So they'll know I overcame that. Whether, again, consciously or subconsciously, I'm just breaking it down from a subconscious level, usually how people process information. But it's like they see this subconsciously, like, oh, you overcame some type of resistance, you're stepping out. I'm talking about things I seem to know about. It means I'm doing something I'm passionate about. All these things are just showing more and more traits of me exemplifying strength and love. And on the contrary, let's say I didn't make this video, I would be unknown. I would be not in people's awareness. And to grow, to build your business, to build your brand, to improve sales, like first things first, I got this from Grant Cardone. People have to know about you. Like your problem is you're unknown. Like the more known you are, the more opportunity you have for people to like you and to be attracted to you and to trust you. And that's all we need to sell somebody. That's all we need for people to buy our product. That's all we need for people to want to be our friend. That's all we need for girls to want to be in a relationship with us, is to know, like, and trust you. So you're always selling yourself as a person who is trustable, who is likable, and who is known. So cultivate those things, you know, make yourself more known, cultivate your brand, put yourself out there more, whether it's on the internet or in your community. It's the reason why community leaders or like pastors, like people that's known, are attractive, because they have that trait. And then if they like you, that's an added bonus. And then if they trust you on top of it, that's an added bonus. But how do you become that person who's knowable, likable, and trustable? You have to overcome the resistance that wants to tell you that, oh, nobody cares about you, so why put yourself out there? Oh, you don't even like yourself sometimes, so why would other people like you? Oh, you don't even trust yourself sometimes, so why would other people trust you? And then you focus on those thoughts and you focus on those doubts, and then you don't take action. So you give into the fear of being rejected. You give into the fear of success or whatever the unconscious fear is. And then that reflects. And then people ignore you. And then you're walking through society unseen. Like so many dudes are unseen in society these days. Like, you know, a lot of times we just want to be acknowledged as like a person. So like, you know, yes, it's a action thing. Like as you do more, you'll become more noticed, but it's really an internal process. Like as you overcome the internal resistance to do more, like that's the means to the end. Like that's the big crux of the whole thing. It's like you have to overcome the resistance internally, and that is what gets you the end. Like so many people focus on the end, but they didn't overcome nothing. So it's like, one, they don't do it, or they do it and then they just fall off, or like it don't hit the same, because it's like it's fake. And like people know fake. People know when shit's not authentic. Like when you just talking about some shit you don't know about, or putting on a show trying to portray like you're something when you're really not. Like people can really tell that. So like that's unattractive too. So it's like that's not trustable. Like going back to those traits, like know, like, and trust. Yes, put yourself out there, but in order to put yourself out there, overcome that fear, overcome that resistance. Yes, like yourself first so other people could like you. Trust yourself first so other people could trust you. And the only way to do that, all three of those things at the same time, is to develop strength. Strength, internally, mentally. And as you become strong, you start to live out of your highest version of yourself automatically. Like there's no separation anymore. There's no separation from like, this is who I really want to be. This is what I truly want to do in my life. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, if I could like coach people, do coaching calls, if I could make content like this, if I could, scale businesses, be an entrepreneur, build teams, empower people, impact people, grow, scale, whatever. But like me personally, like the skill sets that I want to do, I just want to sell. I just want to train. I just want to coach. I just want to speak. I just want to public speak. Like just do stuff like that. Like this is what I enjoy doing. So like, there's no separation from this version of myself who is doing this right now, even though I only have 4 viewers. Shout out to y'all. Like there's no separation between like this video. It was a good video. We only got 1 like. So if you in this right now, like it. But there's no separation between this version of myself who is making this video and the version of myself who, after this video is created, goes out and lives my life in the world, right? So it's like, we want to merge those 2 things together, who we see ourselves in being and who we're being right now in the moment. And the more we can live from that place, the more congruent we'll be, the more aligned we'll be, the more authentic we'll be. And in order to do this, you have to be strong. So the stronger you'll be as well. Because in order to get to this point where you're able to live from the best version of yourself and mix that with the present version of yourself, you have to become strong, because you're going to experience resistance. You're going to experience uncomfortable feelings. You're going to experience stuff that you don't want to experience. You're going to experience some pain. And the only way to get past that is to be strong. And lean not on your own strength, because you're going to get weak at sometimes, but lean on the strength of the Father. Lean on the strength of the Ox. Lean on the strength of the one that created the universe, the heavens, the planets, everything. Lean on that strength. And you'll find it. He'll give it to you. He'll give it to you. You know? In those moments where you feel really weak, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you just really pray and like lean on that strength, it'll happen. And let's just say, you don't believe in God, in that sense. Believe in divine infinite love. Like, again, the science is out. Like, you can go check out Joe Dispenza's work. And this frequency, there is frequencies that we emit from our heart, and the highest frequency that healing begins in the body is a sense of divine love and bliss. Like, when people feel divine love and bliss in their body begins to heal. And their, obviously, bodies heal, then their brain heals. And if their brain heals, they make better decisions. And if they make better decisions, they take better actions. And if they take better actions, they get better results and create better habits and create better patterns and improve their life. So it's not just a philosophical conversation of, oh, have faith in God and everything works out. It's like, no, when you truly feel internally divine love and like you're okay and like no fear, your body literally begins to heal. So like it says in the Bible that God is love. So it's scientifically proven. It's in the Bible. So if you believe that, it's philosophically proven. And it's probably experientially proven through your own life. You've probably noticed in your own life that when you live from a place of love and not fear, that things are attracted to you, that you experience a higher quality of life, that people start to come to you more. Like Velcro just said, like when he gets on his purpose, when he start grinding, people start coming to him, women, all this different stuff. So it's a universal fact. And the reason we just don't live from that place more often is because we still have some weakness in us. Society has conditioned us to be weak, especially this last season of life. Again, I started the video talking about the cycle, how easy times create weak people create hard times create strong people. So we were in that cycle of strong people create easy times, and those easy times creating weak people. That's where we probably were the last 10 or 15 years, like pre-2020. But this last couple of years, we've been in that stage where, the macroeconomic situation is pretty bad. So it's a little bit harder times. And these harder times are either making you or breaking you. But just stay strong. And these times will make you better. These times will improve your life. These times will make you stronger. If you allow them to, and believe in God, have faith in God. And I think everything will improve. And you'll see this, like, start becoming aware, start noticing societies more, start seeing what the women are talking about, start seeing what the guys are talking about, and just like notice where we are. Like, that's what inspired me to make this video. I just see women thinking about like, oh, when he reads the Bible, when he goes to church, that's a green flag. Like all these green flags of like dudes who are strong and God fearing, because that's how you get strong. So let's do it. What do you think about Bible saying April is going to be eclipsed and it happened? There's basically some sign that when you translate it means the end is coming, the end, something like that. I haven't looked into that theory. Again, let's say that's true and the world ends, then it don't really matter because the world's end. But let's say it's not true, then the only thing that would have been true is you spent your time and energy and effort and focus researching that information, and it didn't come to pass, so therefore it was not useful. And if it's not useful to your life, I call that a distraction. So yeah, that's how I look at that stuff. If it's not useful for my life, it's a distraction. And whether it was true or whether it's not true that the end does come, then it wouldn't matter. I know I'm good. I talk to God every day. But let's say it doesn't happen, then it wasn't relevant. So it was a distraction. So let's just focus on our own life. I found that life is hard. Life is hard. Like whoever told you that shit easy, it's not easy, bro. But like it's simple. And like the simple truth is like the more you focus on you, the focus will be on you. And the more the focus is on you and you're performing to your highest capability, the better you'll feel and the more success you'll have materially or spiritually. So let's win. Catch y'all boys in the next one.